Welcome to part 1 of my Dragon Force 2 walkthrough with limited commentary. I'll try to avoid talking over the wonderful soundtrack as much as possible. For now, let's take a minute, sit back, cool out, and sip this lovely anime intro. Not too bad, right? By the way, I'm a new LPer. Old laptop, new equipment. Bear with me, it's going to be a little rough in the beginning, but I'm planning on staying with this project, so I'm going to sort things out as time goes on, so patience, we all have to start somewhere. I'll try not to be too boring, too dry, but I am kind of boring and I'm kind of dry. I'll mostly be talking about the strategies and tactics to help you win this game well. Not too much color commentary, because again, I want this to be more of a walkthrough than a just straight let's play. There'll be plenty of time for that later when I have a little bit more juice under my boots. Right now I'm just showing off the different options. There's not much to choose from. That was a brief look at the sound test. Here are some CG stills from in-game, the different playthroughs. I stopped there because I realized that some of that could be spoilers, so I'll let you experience that later. We're going to go to new game. Take a look at all the 8 kingdoms before I make my selection, starting with Highlands, right there at the very bottom. Let's see what it has to say about Highland. It's ruled by Avarice, very similar to Wayne, but better in my opinion. Occupying the very heart of Legendra, Highland bears a history longer than any other. The young King Avarice, orphaned in childhood, owes his upbringing to his elder sisters. As such, he values his advisor Celine as much more than an aide. That's kind of hinting at something too. That's not quite kosher, but I'll save that for his playthrough if I get to it. Bartz, leader of the resistance army. Born of a union between human and dark elf, Bartz laments his roots and prefers solitude. He must decide whether to heed the call of his dark elf blood or forge his destiny among humans. A man of similar ilk, Dario, serves as his advisor. Shin. Shin has formed an alliance to end the bloodthirsty reign of Topaz's current monarch. Shin draws great support from the oppressed people, who don't seem to mind that he takes advice from twin fairies named Lila and Lily. Moon Palace Realm. This is only unlocked after you've beaten the game once. The Elvis country is known for its beautiful forests and lakes, but its peace and natural splendor now suffer at the hands of neighboring Tristan. This has caused the current monarch, Rennie, to rely on the advice of the famous warrior Clift. And Tristan, also unlockable after you've beaten the game once. Famous for its mechanized army, Tristan has invaded surrounding countries in its quest for resources. A failed experiment claimed the wife and child of the current monarch, Adovak. The veteran military strategist Bjorn serves as his advisor. Tristan in this game is very similar to Fundaria in the last game. It's unlockable, and the storyline is similar for reasons I'll get into later. A nation that values magical prowess. Now that King Lennox has gone missing, his daughter Sanis has assumed the throne with Professor Shepard's aid. While still young and prone to mistakes, Sanis is loved for her unaffected nature. Sanis and Shin are probably the easiest campaigns for a beginner, so if you're new to strategy RPGs or Dragon Force, try one of them out. Kaede, a nation of samurai and ninja who hold honor and etiquette in the highest regard. Its monarch, Kaede, is viewed as valiant but rash, and tends to fall for men with a wild or charismatic side. Her advisor, Katsuke, tries to keep her out of trouble. Key word there, tries. And finally, we have Bozak to the southeast. Cradled in Legendra's forested mountains, Bozak rarely interacts with the outside world. Gangas, the current tribe leader, has earned great renown for both courage and moral fiber. His fellow tribeswoman Cess advises him. And this is actually who we're going to select for the first walkthrough. Cutscene, come on, there you go. I apologize beforehand for any slowdown or delays that might pop up.
大事な会議の時間だというのに。
魔族。
ガンガス様のおかげで撃退できてるんです。
だからこそ対策を練らなければならんというのに、どこに行ってしまったんだ。
さてね、あの方の奔放さにはついていけないからね。
この間も村祭りの相撲大会に出て。ちゃっかり優勝しちゃいましたの。
ガンガス様にはボザック王としての自覚はないのか。
まあ、変に肩肘張って王様やってるなんてガンガス様には似合わないけどね。
違いない。あんなだからみんな慕ってるってのはある。
だがな。
難儀してるみたいだな。どれ貸してみな。
ガンガス様、一人では無理ですよ。今人を呼びますから。
まあ見てろって、俺に任せなって。
おお、さすがガンガス様。
先生、確かそろそろ会議の時間なんだ。お前言って俺は出られんと伝えてこい。
いいえ、私はここに。
今俺は手が離せん。ゴンザレスがぶつくさ言い出す前に状況を説明して、今日の会議は延期だと言ってこい。
ダメです。
お前は。分かった分かった。こいつをとっとと片付けて会議に出るから待ってろ。
それがよろしいかと。
森が危ない。
セス、急いで城に戻るぞ。
おお、若様。今までどこに行っていたのです。
森の精霊が怯えている。状況はどうなってる。
魔族の集団が国境に現れたそうです。
まったく不利な奴らだ。まあ俺に任せなって。
And that's it for the introduction to Gangas and his generals. As you can tell, the game has excellent voice acting, so I'm not going to be talking over that whenever possible. Here I'm showing off the different options at the domestic screen, very similar to the first Dragon Force with some very welcome changes. Here's where you can look at your different generals, check out their stats, their levels, what they have equipped. POWs is of course prisoners of war. We don't have any yet, we haven't done anything yet. Castles, just to take a close look at your castles. See who's the current viceroy, the one in charge, staff, general, troop reserves, etc, etc. Here you can decide how to recruit POWs. I normally just go for report mood, and more on that as we continue. Here you can fortify castles manually like in Dragon Force 1 or leave it to your staff. I leave it to my staff and they're usually pretty good at it, so it's one less thing to keep up with. Arms and items is equipping weapons and accessories. Chat is to talk to your generals. In this game you'll actually want to talk to them because they can tell you very useful things. Like here, Gonzalez gives you a clue that beasts are effective against mechanized soldiers, so that's good to know. Fiorina seems to be obsessed with Maria, it's all she talks about. Maria, here, if you talk to her a second time, she'll tell you something helpful for later. I'm trying accents, here you go. A hint about the forging mechanic, which we'll get into later. And here Marcus is very useful, saying that there's a dragon man living in Fura village, so we'll want to remember that for later. And you'll want to talk to them a couple times because they can tell you multiple things if they're happy. This is the forging menu. If you have them at their happiest with a smiling face, they'll tell you two different things. If they're at a level less than that, if they're just okay, upset, furious, they will tell you one thing at the most. And I've never lost a character in this game, but apparently if they're unhappy enough, if you don't reward them enough, or I don't know, probably if you don't reward them for winning battles, they'll leave you. But I haven't had a deserter yet, and I've played through at least 5 different campaigns now. So there'll be less jabbing in the future unless it's about strategy. I'm saving the game now. I'm going to pick this back up later. Still testing my laptop to see what it can handle, so I hope you've enjoyed this very boring video 1. See you soon.